So that's the history of lookalikes in a nutshell. But where are they at today? Are they still actually worthwhile? And the answer is what's up, everybody? Alvaro here from Alvaro Barrios Digital, and today I'm going to talk to you about lookalike audiences. Now, before I get into what my thoughts are on lookalike audiences at this very point in time, I'm going to give you a quick definition of lookalike audiences for the few of you that may not know what I'm talking about, and also I'm going to give you a little bit of history in terms of where lookalike audiences have been when they first started off, where they went, and where they are right now. So in case you are unaware of what a lookalike audience is, it's actually a really cool concept. It's a base audience that you feed to Facebook, and then they analyze that base audience and then go out and find people that look like that audience, hence the name lookalike. So a perfect example is your customers. Let's say you upload an email list of all your customers over the last 12 months, and then Facebook will analyze those customers and then go find other people that have similar attributes, characteristics, and behaviors of your customers. So really cool, right? It makes it super simple to find similar people out there to a certain base audience. It can be your website visitors, it can be your customers, it can be your Facebook fans, your Instagram followers, whatever it may be. There's so many different base audiences that you can feed Facebook, and it's going to analyze that information and find similar people for you. So when lookalikes first came out, they were very good in one sense, right? So when you create a lookalike, you can create either a 1% lookalike all the way up to a 10% lookalike. And basically what that means is that the 1% lookalike is going to be the most similar to your base audience, whereas the 10% is going to be the least similar. And when lookalikes first came about, really only the 1% were worthwhile. Like if you went into the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever it might be, none of those really got you great results at the beginning. It was only the 1% that was good. But then as time went on and the algorithm got improved and Facebook made some optimizations, you could find a lot of success with other percentages of lookalikes, such as 3, 5, 7. I've used 10% lookalikes plenty of times for customers and have found great success with them. So they really got better and better over time, and it was just such an easy way to grow your audience and reach new people. Because let's just say you were using a 1% lookalike audience for a whole year, but then you were kind of starting to burn that audience. Well, boom, you just changed it to a 10%, and all of a sudden your audience size went from, let's say, 2.5 million to 60 million, right? So very easy way to expand your audience and still get in front of highly qualified individuals. So that's the history of lookalikes in a nutshell. But where are they at today? Are they still actually worthwhile? And the answer is probably not, right? So what do I mean by this? iOS 14.5, as you probably know by now, really changed everything when it comes to Facebook ads, the way the algorithm works, the way the campaigns optimize, all this kind of stuff. And since iOS 14.5, lookalikes just haven't been what they used to be. For the vast majority of customers that I work with, except for one that I can think of off the top of my head, lookalikes are just not performing all that well. And in fact, cold interest targeting is what is working best. Way better than any lookalike, whether it be a 1% or a 10%, it does not matter. Cold interest targeting is winning the day at the moment. Now, why is this? Why all of a sudden are lookalikes not as good as they used to be? Well, there's no really straightforward answer, right? We're all just kind of hypothesizing as to why this might be, but probably the most likely reason is that because of the fact that with iOS 14.5, people are opting out. Every single base audience that you use, there's fewer people within that base audience. So let's just say you're using your website visitors as your base audience, but half of those people have opted out due to iOS 14.5, meaning you cannot use them inside of your lookalike audience. So let's say you have, 100 website visitors over the last 7 days. Well, now you only have 50 that you can use in terms of creating that lookalike audience. Now, actually, with 50, you can't even create a lookalike audience with an audience that small. You need a base audience of at least 100. So if you have 1,000 visitors over the last 7 days, Well, you don't have 1,000 people you can create a lookalike off of anymore. You actually have 500. And that's not a perfect percentage. I'm not saying with every single base audience you put out there, it's always 50% less than it used to be. The point is, though, is that it's less than what it used to be, no matter which way you cut it. And so because of that, the algorithm just can't create as high quality of a profile of these similar people to whatever your base audience is, and therefore the lookalikes are simply not as effective as they used to be. So that's just the reality, and I am finding for the vast majority of customers that I work with, like I said, there's only one that I can think of off the top of my head where lookalikes are actually still working extremely well, but for everyone else, it's all about cold interest targeting. So if you have been relying on lookalikes for a very long time and your results have been derailing over the past several months, ever since iOS 14.5, definitely give cold interest another look, right? Usually what happened with cold interest pre-iOS 14.5 is that, right, you would log on, create your Facebook ads account, you would run cold interest for a little while, but then you would build up enough data to create a lookalike audience, and then you just run lookalikes. But that has all changed because, again, lookalikes simply aren't as effective as they used to be. So what do you do now? Well, before I get into this, if you are finding this information useful and helpful, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It really helps promote the channel right here and push it out to the YouTube algorithm. I'd really appreciate your support in that sense. So what do you do now? You need to go back, way back, depends on how long you've been running cold interest for it, and create some new research, right? Because Facebook's targeting options are always being updated. So if you ran cold interest targeting options, let's say 2 years ago, there's no guarantee that it's going to be the same cold interest targeting options that are available right now. So go ahead and do some research. Really great tools to use are actually Google. You find in Google is not where you're going to find in Facebook, but what I mean is that if you are in the tennis niche, for example, and you need to go after tennis options, a good thing to type into Google is tennis magazines, right? And then you're going to get a list of all the top tennis magazines, and then you can see if those magazines are available as targeting options inside of Facebook. Or you can do tennis websites on Google, make that list, and then see if any of those are available inside of Facebook. So again, this used to be done a lot inside of Facebook Audience Insights, but unfortunately that was removed back in July. So you can still use Google though to get some ideas and kind of dig to see if there are any cold interest targeting options that people maybe aren't using or aren't aware of out there. Make a list inside of a spreadsheet and then simply just go inside of Facebook, mainly type out each and every single item that you find and see if it's an available targeting option. It is a little bit of a tedious process, but I can promise you the vast majority of advertisers do not do this. All they do is that they go inside of Facebook Ads Manager and they click on the suggestion button. But I can tell you from experience, when you click on that, you're just seeing the same suggestions that everyone else is seeing. So you're going to come up against very stiff competition. So at this point in time, as of the recording of this video, which is December 2021, like I said, cold interest targeting is working better than lookalikes for the vast majority of people. So if you have not revisited them, I definitely encourage you to do that. Now, this is one of those things that can probably and likely will change, right? Because again, lookalikes used to be supreme, now they're not. Now cold interest targeting is working really well. It might circle back after they make some changes that lookalikes once again will be superior in some way, shape, or form. So again, this is not something that's going to be permanent in all probability, but at this moment, December 2021, if you're not using cold interest targeting, definitely do so, and I can almost assure you that you're going to get better results than your lookalike audience. And if you found this information helpful and you'd like to see if there's a way that you can work with me and my team, head on over to alvarobarrios.com/FBhelp. In there, you'll fill out a brief application so I can learn a little bit more about your business, and then we'll hop on a Zoom call and see what solution is best for you. I do not have cookie cutter solutions. I have custom solutions based upon your specific needs for your business and your goals with regards to Facebook ads. So I will link that below so that you can check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It really helps push this video out to the YouTube algorithm. That way more people just like you can watch this information and benefit from it just like you have. And if you have any other topics you'd like for me to cover, definitely just let me know in the comments below. The most popular and requested topics I get, I turn into videos just like this one. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. That way you don't miss any valuable content that I put out on a weekly basis. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it.